Hello. Today's topic is going to be some strange gigs that my band has played. Um, our band would rather play than not play, which basically means we play anywhere anyone asks us to for whatever they're paying, which lots of times is nothing. Over the years, we've played some pretty strange gigs, and I thought I would talk about some of them because we're heading into something I consider a pretty strange gig. We are playing at our local farmers market. We're a band, right? Bands don't play farmers markets. Maybe they do, but not around here. Singer guitarists play farmers markets, acoustic. But they ask us, so here we go. Fingers crossed it goes well. I just kind of thought a farmer's market was where you played when you gave up on everything else, ran out of options. But like I said, we'd rather play than not play. So, last night I sent an email to Dave, who is our guitarist, founding member, asking what weird gigs he could remember. And boy, did he ever send a list. And everything he said reminded me of something else. So we were shooting emails back and forth, and I have enough. I could write a novel. So I'm just going to ramble around and pick a few. Most weird things that have happened at gigs are because of our actual band members. And if you want to narrow it down, it's because of relationship problems they were having, which they couldn't deal with. They couldn't leave it at the door and perform like a professional. For the most part, some of the weird things are, excuse me, some of the weird things were just not us. We have played pizza places, private parties, festivals, motorcycle dives, campgrounds, college keg parties, a Chinese restaurant, bowling alleys, a strip club, a train depot, a car dealership. Of course, we played actual bars, theaters with stages, park pavilions, and a drive-in movie theater, and a gas station. Yes, we were hired to play at a gas station. They were celebrating an anniversary, and I'm sure they had other things going on besides us. But there we were, outdoors, and everyone who either drove past or stopped to get gas got to listen to us. It was like at a corner by a stoplight, so all sorts of cars were stopped in front of the stoplight, and they would give us thumbs up. I didn't think anybody gave us thumbs down. I've heard that we were the first of many bands to play at that gas station, that it became a tradition. I don't even remember what gas station it was. It was somewhere in Toledo. I felt awkward, but it was early on in our band. Band. Oh, okay. Where's page 2? That's page 4. It was early in our band career, and I had definite visions of what band gigs were supposed to be. Not gas stations. And it was one of the rare ones where we actually got paid. We played a pizza place in a small town, a show with another band. We were opening, I don't remember. We must have been. We were playing first. The owners stopped the show to ask us to turn down because they couldn't hear the pizza orders on the phone. How the heck were we supposed to do that? The other band was exasperated and decided to go play elsewhere. It seems to me it was a parking lot, but it might have been someone's house. And they took the whole crowd, teenagers, with them, and left us trying to play quietly with our teenage drummer who didn't have any volume control, with the few stragglers who I guess probably wandered in to get pizza. I remember someone making fun of harmonies I was singing on a song we do called Long Dark Road, pretending I didn't hear people make fun of it. Yeah, but like I still remember it, don't I? And speaking of our teenage drummer, as a little aside, his mother once cornered me and said she was glad he was in our band because we would be a good influence on him. It's like, what? Does she know what being in a band is like? Only he was the one who ordered beer by the pitcher every set and drank it all. He was 15. And he taught me how to swear like a sailor. I didn't mean to. It's just that he said stuff all the time and it just rubbed off. After he left the band, my language eventually cleared itself up. But it took a while. Back in the day, bars would pay you and give you free drinks. And there was the time we played at a bar in a rundown hotel downtown, like a welfare hotel. And another band showed up to watch us and kept buying us shots, like on purpose, to be mean. And I got so drunk that the rest of the band quit the next morning and only came back if I promised never to get drunk again. I remember thinking I sounded great. I had never been so loose and creative before. Apparently not. I do remember I threw up in the parking lot. Fond memories. I didn't get drunk again. I'd like to say I never got drunk again, but I didn't get drunk when the band played ever again. Speaking of parking lots, we had one time when we were playing at some little bar way out in the country in the middle of nowhere, and a whole bunch of people showed up, and I thought, wow, we're really popular. But when the break came, they all trooped out to the parking lot with our then bass player, who was selling grass out of the back of his van. And after the break, they all left. We played normal festivals. I really loved doing them because they were such a cool crowd, all back to nature and Wicca and hippie and stoned, of course. Our very first Normal Fest, we had a relatively new drummer, and as we were driving back the long lane to the campground, there was a swing set and a couple girls, not kids, but like early 20s, hanging upside down from their knees, not wearing anything. And our drummer, who was, I guess, maybe kind of straight-laced, he was out of the army with a wife and little kids. He looked like he'd entered a whole new world and was quite happy to be there. Welcome to Oz. Normal fests were great because everybody loved our music. We are and have always been an original band. We write our own stuff. We do some covers, try to do them in our own way. Our music isn't really one genre, we do a range. What we say in press releases is, Tinfoil defies genres. We go wherever the music takes us. Some of the stages at Normal Fest were pretty homemade and rickety. Was it a Normal Fest? I think it was, where they tied the stage canopy to our van because it was super windy and they didn't want it to blow away. And while we were playing, the back of the van was getting blown right off the ground. There was a heck of a storm coming, so we hustled around and tossed our stuff in the van and got out of there. And later found out that there had been a tornado, not right there, but near. So, yeah. Yeah, and we opened for Modern English in a rundown club with hardly any people there. Their singer was so trashed she could barely stand. In fact, I think that the band did a bunch of like instrumental stuff that didn't require him. Afterwards, we happened to be going the same way as them home, so we were following them, and they stopped at a rundown little cheap motel. Yeah, they were playing at the same crappy places as we were. It was kind of sobering. Um, there was the time our bass player dove off the stage into the audience because his girlfriend was sitting out there flirting with some guy right in the middle of a song. We had to take a break right then and pull him off of her and put him in the car to cool down. There was, hi sweetie, yeah. There was the time the opening band didn't bother to show. We were the headliners. And the middle band's vocalist was at work or something and wouldn't get there until they were supposed to play. So Dave and I went on as an acoustic act to fill the first spot. Then the middle band went on. And then we got up there with our band and played as tinfoil. Do you think people noticed? Or the time our drummer quit 3 days before a show was supposed to be the show was supposed to be all heavy bands. And so we asked the organizers, did they want us to show up as an acoustic or would they rather we canceled? We played acoustic. Everybody was super, super nice. And we got way more applause than ever because everybody there had heard about our drummer and they all felt sorry for us. It's actually kind of heartwarming. You would think that pity applause would be kind of embarrassing, but it wasn't. It really wasn't. There was the manager who evidently didn't know what an original band is. So he or she, I'm not sure, we had both, booked us into a hotel bar that wanted an oldies cover band. We played one set. Manager came up and said, don't you know, I don't remember what songs, but, you know, it was the 90s, so it must have been 70s covers. I don't know. Anyways, we didn't. They paid us to leave. That was the easiest pay we ever got, but not fun. And then there was the time that I got mad because we did our version of You Ought to Know by Alanis Morissette. And these two drunk girls said they could sing it better than I just did. And I said, okay, you get up here and do it. And they stumbled up on stage and they tried and it was horrible. The band was not happy with me. Capital not. They were mad. Anyways, never did that again. Felt like it, but never did it. And the time that our drummer was having wife problems and totally flipped out in the middle of a set and walked out and left his drum set at the bar for days. He didn't go back. The bar kept calling Dave and asking when someone was coming to take the drums away. I'm not sure, but I think Dave finally went and got them. Did we finish the gig? Gosh, I don't even remember. There were so many of them. We played one gig with a microphone duct taped to a mop handle wedged between two concrete blocks because they forgot to get anyone to do sound. I guess maybe I should stop and assure you that we have had lots and lots of times where we played and sounded great and everything went well and nothing bad happened. Because, really. But it's just, we've been a band for so long. And we've played so many places and had so many experiences. And we would try to do things that probably we weren't ready for. But when you get a chance, you take it. Right? So, I guess the moral of the story is, if you're not doing anything next Saturday morning, come see us play at the farmer's market. I had a song picked out, but it's kind of complicated. And I thought, no, let's do something easy. So now I'm going to do an easy song, whether you like it or not. It's an ordinary day in this world. The death wheel spinning unconcerned. Kelly is sipping on a cup of human blood. A field of heroes starts to burn. Hey you, walk on by, you got the wrong attitude. Hey you, walk on by, 'cause honey, I don't need you. You got a chip on your shoulder. I don't wanna be rude, but there's no poetry in you. Your children sleep between the cracks of this world. Their mother's spinning unconcerned. The garbage man is picking up your plastic trash. It's spring and your heart begins to turn. Hey you, walk on by, you got the wrong attitude. Hey you, walk on by, 'cause honey, I don't need you. You got a chip on your shoulder. I don't want